Are you looking for an income producing property in France? Well, what are the options? There are probably four main options which require different levels of commitment and budget. So, firstly, whatever you buy, you can try and rent out as a vacation let on Airbnb or similar. For some places, you need a permission from the mayor, but most don't. The downside of this is that you obviously can't use it whilst it's rented, and you have to lock away all your personal things whilst it's let out. It's why lots of people instead look at getting something with a gite. A gite is a furnished property that's rented out for vacations. It can only be for 90 days to any one client, or it becomes a long term let. If you're thinking about long term rentals as an investment, it's very different to the US. I don't cover it here, but you should get some specialist advice before you do anything. So a gite could be as simple as a self-contained apartment in a house with its own entrance, or it could be that there are several separate buildings with a main owner house and several separate gite houses. There are people who move and operate the gites as their main income, others who just want to cover some costs. There are tax implications and perhaps some registration, but it definitely isn't too much work to set up. It's the most hands-off option, as you don't need to move to France. So how do you know if a listing might be a viable option? Well, often it will say so. A listing might mention that it already has a gite or would be suitable as being a gite. Not always though. Sometimes an agent won't say if it's not an exclusive mandate to protect their listing from people going direct to the owners. And it can be easier to find a working gite online from the information in the listing. If you do find the gite website though, it's going to have lots of useful information for you as you're shortlisting properties. There are also lots of benefits to buying an existing gite. They'll have connections with people who can help run it. They might already have some sort of online presence, repeat customers, saves you time and means instant income. It might come at a premium price though. So if it's not mentioned in the listing, how do you know? Well, you'd need to look for clues in the listing description or in the photos. This one, for instance, is clearly a gite complex to me, even though the description doesn't say it, just from the photo. That does mean that if you're using a keyword search, this wouldn't come up, so you'd need to think of other ways to find properties that might be suitable for a gite. Here I used 300 metres squared habitable space and 10,000 metres squared for terrain, and lots of options came up that look like gites. So to recap, a gite is probably the most hands-off option for income-producing property in France. You can use a keyword search for a gite, but you might have to try some other options too, and you can look for clues in the listing. There are benefits to buying a gite that's already running, but it might come at a premium price. If you'd like to learn about some other ways you can optimise your search, check us out at FrenchPropertyFocus.com.